Everybody knows that I'm breaking down. Everybody knows I ain't faking now. Everybody knows my heart's vacant now. Yeah, she hates me now, I made mistakes, but now I don't ever wanna be alone. I don't really ever feel at home. On my own, in the zone, that's the only way I know. Feeling low, about to blow back up. Here I won't ever let the doubt creep in. Gotta pop a couple more aspirin. I don't think I'll ever let you in. Easier to break it off as friends. I don't really understand myself. I don't really understand, need help. I don't wanna be left on the shelf. Couldn't even hear me if I yelled. It's so cold outside, I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold outside, I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold. Break down, always feel like I could break now, but I never let it.
To another what if, and today we have what if Gogeta took the place of Goku, and what if Vegeto took the place of Vegeta part 6. And of course, before we start, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, enjoy. Now, shall we get started? Alright, to get things out quickly, basically Goku, Krillin, and Bulma all go to Namek, basically the same group as in canon, except for Gohan's a fusion. Of course, Gohan and Krillin do some image training, resulting in new power levels. Also, great thing, this is the last video I have to do power levels for the series. Thank goodness. Boys, Gohan gets 45,000, the power level 45,000. Krillin gets a power level 35,000. Moving on. Also on 400. Running on to Namek, Krillin and Goku head to that one village they did in canon. Instead of encountering Zambara, Dodoria, and Frieza, they would encounter the Armored Squadron. But since I can't remember a single one of their names, I'll just go by the names Piccolo called them in the Team 4-Star version, because that is much more fun. Here are their power levels on screen. Handsome one, the one in the middle, being 17,000. The dumb one being the one on the right, the green guy, being 163,000. And the monster, you can probably guess who he is, being 185,000. Go on with power up to fall Super Saiyan, and would tell Krillin to get out there, take Dende with him. Krillin would try to disagree, however, will have no choice in the matter, not being strong enough to take on them, and would leave with Dende, telling Gohan not to die. Gohan, dang it, it's finally happening. Needs to say, Gohan has an easy time taking on the squadron, and battles them with ease, knocking them around in this form. However, not being able to finish them off, since one would always come and save the other, and the form would quickly drain his power and start to tire him out. However, he would be able to kill one of them with a ki blast before he finally wears out, that being dumb one. But finally wears out and would be left to Handsome and Monster's Mercy, who would go up to kill Gohan, especially for killing their friend Dumb One. But luckily or unluckily, someone would arrive, that being Nappa. Nappa would arrive. Okay, getting to Nappa and Vegeto's power levels real quick. I probably should have done this at the beginning of Namek, but who cares? That being Vegeto's being 70,000 and Nappa being 50,000 from their Zenkais on their battle on Earth. Nappa ends up telling the two to hand over their Dragon Balls or he killed them, which the two will laugh at, even seeing his power level on their scouters and noticing it's not as high as theirs. Nappa would just smirk at this, well, basically what he does in this photo, and would power up to Ikari, making the two soon regret their choice. As the battle between the three would begin, not much of a battle, more of a massacre, as he ended up putting his hand through one of their chests, Handsome guy, and ripping Monster's head off to kill them both. Gohan, taking this opportunity of Nappa basically massacring the two, would leave, well, suppressing his power level, and would hide or run away. or retreat, tactical retreats. Nappa just ignore that there are still 7 Dragon Balls here. Just know that we'll grab the Dragon Balls of that village and would leave. While questioning what was up with the sudden power spike he felt, and thinking it was nothing. Okay, moving on to Vegetto's point of view. Basically goes to the same thing Vegeta did in Canon, finding that Namekian village, destroying the people there and claiming the 4-star Dragon Ball. And later finding Koi, I think his name is Koi, that's how you pronounce it. Koi, and killing him with ease, more than in Canon. As he would eventually sneak on Frieza's ship and basically kill all the soldiers there. I'm sorry, not Frieza's ship, but Kuliza's ship. Oh yeah, did I forget to mention he's here? And would grab his Dragon Balls, throwing them out the window, still causing distraction like in Canon. Well, what Vegeta did in Canon. Okay, back to the Dragon Team's point of view. Goku would make it back in not the best shape, but as Krillin would ask what happened, and basically Goku would explain, well, what happened. As after some planning, then they would actually take Goku and Krillin to Guru's place. Moving on to Guru's place. Skim through things after checking their past and everything. Guru unlocks their potentials, which means more power levels. Okay, hopping into you see the power levels. So here are their power levels right now. Goku at 100,000, Krillin standing at 65,000. Nappa and Vegeito would, since this sudden power spike, and would decide to head over to Guru's place. And after getting a heal up from Dende, after he gets his potential unlocked to heal up people. As the two groups would eventually meet each other halfway between Guru's place, it was set down this land. Of course, the groups would get ready to battle, but all 4 of them would send 6 very powerful power levels. Three very powerful power levels approaching the planet. As out of 3 space pods that will land on the planet would approach Ultra Ginyu, which I'm just gonna call him since I don't know his actual fusion name. Actually, I just make half of these up. Jaiter, and Ricardo. I wonder what fusions these are. Here are their power levels. Ultra Ginyu 500,000, Jaiter 250,000, and Ricardo 120,000. You have no idea how many takes that took. Of course, the group decided to call a temporary truce would go and take on this new threat that has arrived on the planet. Then to quickly get things done, Goku and Krillin would take on Ricardo, as they will be much stronger than him. However, Ricardo's whole time thing, freezing thing, would cause him to have the advantage and land some blows on them. However, Krillin would use his solar flare, before the guy can use his time thing, force him to use his hands to shield his all 4 of his eyes, as Goku will power up a Mustang Kamehameha that would kill them while he's doing that. Nappa fights Jaiter, and needless to say, powers up to Ikari, and he has a very easy time defeating him, basically toying with him, and would obliterate his entire top half. I really have a thing going with Nappa being brutal. To kill him. Now, of course, Ultra Ginyu would be battling Vegeta, who also be encouraged just to say this, but I feel like I don't have to explain that at this point. Who would also outclass him, staying at a power level 700,000. And would basically be doing what Nappa did to Jaiter. It would basically be beating the crap out of Ultra Ginyu until he would surprise Vegeta with his change now technique and would switch into Vegito's body. However, having no idea how to type into Vegito's power nor Ikari, he would easily get beat down by these three, Goku, Nappa, and Krillin, and would try to use change now on one of them. However, Vegito would he would instead switch places with Vegito, who would hop in the raid with everyone being back in their original bodies. As later, hey, Gogeta would arrive. Okay, time to explain his stuff. As around this point is when Gogeta would arrive, and it's time to explain his stuff. Hey, first of all, base power level 60,000. I'm sorry, not 60,000, 600,000 is right on the screen. I don't know why I say 60,000. Second of all, he can use now higher levels of Kaioken, so let's give him about to a times 30, 40, 30. And also has at this point mastered Ikari too, so can use that Kaioken off on top of it with little to no drain, so that's great. Also, he would also come around to the group and would hand Vegeto a senzu bean, which he would have left over, healing him back to full strength. Give him about Goku's power level in canon, that being 3 million. Goku and Krillin would go with Dende to go get off with I forgot his name, Piranha, and get off the wishes, which is still reviving Piccolo and bringing him to Namek. His stuff remains the same as it did in canon. As eventually Kuriza himself does arrive in his final form, sporting a higher power level than everyone else. Yeah, Kuriza was still arriving. As everyone would power up to their strongest, Ikari for Nappa, Vegeto, and Gogeta, Lone Kaioken, Fall Super Saiyan for Goku and Krillin. And will begin battling Kuriza. Side note, Kuriza would be at his final form right now, so just wanted to explain that. And they would actually be doing pretty well and force Kuriza to bring out more and more of his power throughout the fight. However, as he does this, Krillin would be the first to get dropped out of the fight, knocked out of the fight. Then Goku, after both the drain and Kuriza overpowering him next, and of course Nappa would be next to fall, leaving Vegeto and Gogeta to fight them together. However, Vegeta would also fall, leaving Gogeta to fight him alone, as he would power up to his max Kaioken and start fighting him. This fight basically plays out how Goku and more like how Vegeta fought Frieza in canon. Until with new Zenkais, except for Krillin, everyone the following would rush back in to start fighting Kuriza once again, with him being obviously confused on how they able to fight again. As Vegeta would kick Gogeta over to Dente so he can also get healed, which Dente would obviously oblige to, and heal Gogeta, which would also give him a Zenkai, also putting his power level in the millions at 3 million, as he would decide to charge up a spirit bomb, with everyone acting as a distraction, and Kuriza eventually starting to get tired of this and powers up to, about 100% in that form, now 100 buff, But luckily, Omega Piccolo would arrive to lift off some of the load, and they all would be working together to use one final push to hold off Kuriza until the spirit bomb would be done. As Gogeta would send the spirit bomb hurling straight towards Kuriza, as it would be a direct hit, eventually and leaving nothing there. For about a good minute until he rises back up once again, very angry. I'm sorry, not angry, more like absolutely livid. And would power up to his 100% in this timeline, that being this form. And would shoot Omega Piccolo in the chest. And would kill the two baldies of the group, that being Krillin and Nappa. which would anger Gogeta and Vegeta, obviously, as the two would begin to shake in that anger, and we get the iconic scene itself for with two Saiyans this time. So we get Super Vegeto and Super Saiyan Gogeta fighting together. Gogeta would tell Goku to get Piccolo out of there, and so after a bit of arguing, he would oblige and would fly away with Piccolo. Also with Dende, who ironically survived in this timeline. I'm just kidding, I forgot to mention he does die. Kuriza does shoot a death mean at him. As from here, Kuriza does begin to battle the two Super Saiyans, and they're not that actually far outmatched, as Gogeta isn't that far outmatched, but still, he isn't exactly stronger than them. So the battle proceeds about Goku and Frieza's battle as in canon, with eventually the planet being, well, nearly about to destroyed in 5 minutes, and as the two Saiyans would finish Kuriza off with a divine final Kamehameha and a Big Bang Kamehameha, which would actually kill him in this timeline, leaving nothing left. As the two Super Saiyans are able to escape the planet like Vegeta, like Goku did in canon, and heads off to Yadria. As from here, the rest of the arc will follow itself as in canon, and with that, hopefully you guys enjoyed part 6. I think this is the longest part so far, and of course, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe on your way out, and see you in the part 7, which is going to be heck to right.